Well, Merry Christmas. Hey, it's Stephanie Evelo here with the Evelo Team at Keller Williams Realty, and I've got a special guest today, Bob Warner, one of our senior partners, realtors, that's been with us over, 8-9 years now, getting ready to hit the 9-year mark. So super excited to have Bob share with us about what's happened in the last 30 days in November. So many people are going to be sitting around with family members and talking around the holidays here and, talking about real estate. So we want to get you informed so that you can maybe make an informed decision about what you want to do with your home now or in the future. So Bob, tell us what has happened here in November.
Yes, well, happy holidays and Merry Christmas. And we'll give you some information today that'll help you win those bets at the Christmas dinner table. How's that sound?
Exactly.
So first up is just kind of our series of slides that we've been looking at each month. We've started this trend over the last few months of really taking this 5-year look back, because it really will help us identify any potential trends downwards or upwards that we might see coming versus just looking year over year and month over month. So each one of these little ups and downs, right, as you can imagine, is the spring into fall and then back into winter, the spring into fall. So we seem to kind of be hitting that same pattern here so far, right? We'll get into December and then we'll get into January, but it'll probably look a lot like this, which is where we were in 2020. So our median sales price did go down just ever so slightly to 250,500 right here, down about 1.8% month over month. But that is still up 11.8% year over year. Then the next metric we like to take a look at is just that cumulative days on market. So we have, again, 2 lines here. This one line is the median days on market, which is stayed at 7 there. And then the other line just tracks kind of an average day on market. Again, the median kind of being the halfway point between the highest number of days on market and the lowest. So that's a little bit better of a metric to look at. So that's gone up. It seems substantial. It's gone up 40% month over month. But again, that's from 5 days to 7 days. And that puts us kind of right in the same spot that we were last year. Next up is that absorption rate or inventory rate. So again, if you've been with us before, balanced market being a 5 to 7 month supply of inventory, we're pretty much headed into our second year of consistently being under 1 month supply of inventory, and for the most part fluctuating somewhere between 0.5 and 0.8. So that's right where we're at again, 0.7 month supply of inventory ending for November, which was down a little bit over October and down 21% year over year. And then the last one is just that percent of list price received. And where we're at now, we took a big spike over the summer. We went up to like 102%, and we've dropped right down. On average, homes are receiving 100% of offer price. Obviously, some are going over, some might be getting below, but on average, that's where we're at.
And I think that's all important note to make there, that's all relative to what the asking price is, right? Because someone
Correct.
could ask $1 million for a $100,000 home, and they're not going to get 100%. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, so which is why it's important to reach out, obviously, to a qualified realtor that knows the market and can pull the stats to know if the asking price is legit, is accurate. So yeah, so looking back at that 0.7 months worth of supply, so what does that look like, Bob?
Yeah, so what we have tried to do each month is kind of break that down into what it really means. So probably going close to a year back, we really started noticing that in kind of these 5 areas in central Indiana, some of the suburbs where we do a lot of business, we first were pretty shocked when we saw that number go below 500 total active listings. So this just gives that breakdown. We've been tracking each month the total number of active listings as of this morning in each one of those locations: Fishers, Noblesville, Carmel, Westfield, and Zionsville. It's only 213 total today. And then we've kind of tried to say, okay, of those, how many are under $250,000 on the list price? And we only have 12 of those. So still a really shockingly low number. And that really kind of illustrates what does a 0.7 month supply of inventory look like.
Yeah, and yet there are still homes that are turning over. Those are just the ones that are active today, right? So there's lots of pending, lots that are under contract. So it's not that there aren't homes for sale and selling. It's just that those are the current actives that you'd have the opportunity to take a look at. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So what about interest rates? What's the market doing there interest rate wise?
So that's another one we've taken a look at. And again, we've gone to a similar path and taking that 5-year look back. So for the week ending last week, the average interest rate was just a tick over 3% at 3.1. So I know it's a little hard to see on the screen here, but you'll see we actually took a little bit of a dip in most of November and got back down below 3 a little bit. And now we've ticked back up a little over 3. I added a second graph in here today. This is just a little bit larger, easier to see. Just kind of takes a look back at the last 5 years where over the course of those years, the interest rate's been fluctuating. You can see in 18, we were kind of at our highest point in recent memory. We pretty much stayed in the low to mid 4s, even creeped up near 5 in parts of 2018. And then 16, 17, and 19, we were really fluctuating between that 3.5% and 4%. And then you can see this big downward trend in 2020, where we really dropped below 3%, got down close to 2.5%. And then this year, we've kind of been flirting with that 3% line all year.
And still looking at those rates again, my first house was at 7.5%, right? So
Right.
We're still at super low. So it's funny when people are like, oh my gosh, the rates are over 3%, 3% to buy a house, right? They're almost like paying you to purchase. So yeah. So any last closing thoughts before we head off here?
Yeah, as we end the year, obviously we're at the end of December, heading into the new year. I think the holidays do afford us the opportunity to gather with family, and lots of times that may bring up some things. Do we want to move back home? Do we want to move closer to where our family has migrated to? Do we need to upsize, downsize if you become an empty nester? And so I think the pandemic has really kind of maybe put a pause the last 1.5 years, coming up on 2 years, and maybe what individuals were looking to do from a homeownership standpoint. And so we're really there to say, hey, if 2022 is kind of the year where you get that back on track and you've really thought about moving, whether that's, again, upsizing, downsizing, moving to a different state, whatever the case may be, reach out. Let's connect. Let's come up with a plan and see what we can do to help maximize that opportunity for you in 2022.
Yeah, I think this 2021 has been a year of kind of reflection, right? In 2020, everybody was kind of locked in and stationary. And I think everybody really had a time to reflect and get very clear on what they want, right? Like what they want for their living conditions for now forward, right? So yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Bob. We always appreciate all the data, and so we can be as knowledgeable as we can be to make informed decisions about our home buying and selling process. So we appreciate you bringing that to us each and every month. And as always, if anyone has any questions about buying or selling, we're always here and available. The Evelo team would love to help you with any and all of your real estate needs. And so please feel free to post here or reach out to us via phone, text, email, our website, whatever means of communication that might work best for you. So thanks so much again. And if you've been holding off buying or selling, but actively preparing to enter the market in 2022, make sure that you do reach out and connect with us, and so we can help you make an informed decision about your next move. So thanks so much again for watching today, and everyone have happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.